Okay, so the roast that I put in last night at midnight, here it comes. Nobody's touched it. It started at 200 degrees. About 10 o'clock this morning, I switched it up. Let's take a look and see where we're at. Now it's hot, but I've been doing this a while, so I guess I've become impervious to the steam. And there you go.
Oof.
Okay, now you saw that there was literally only about a cup of fluid in there. All that fluid has come down. You can see how light this meat is. It literally can be spread on bread. Okay? You ready, baby?
Mm-hmm.
You ready?
I am.
Are you?
Mm.
You can turn the thing on so they can see your face because it looks really happy right now. Okay, so there you go. This roast is probably one of the most tender you'll ever see.
Mm-hmm.
Can you see how it's doing all this crazy stuff? Now here's a little secret that my bestie Celeste had mentioned to me, and I've been doing ever since then. The fat that comes off the brisket and the fat that comes off the roast, I don't throw that away. What I do is I save it. And then when I make red beans, I throw all that fat up in there because that's where most of the flavor comes from any meat. Okay, so once this is all done, I'm going to drain away all this, remove all the top fat. What's left is going to turn into an au jus. The fat's going to go into a Ziploc and cool, and then into the freezer. And then when I make red beans, I just plop it in the pot, and wow, very rich. When the red beans are done, I skim off all the fat, and what you have is just the flavor that's been left in there, and all that body. So there it is. These meats were 100% frozen. So if you take a look, okay, that's what's for dinner. I mean, I can cut it. I'm actually not even using a proper blade for this at all. Right here. This is the brisket. Now, once it cools, it's going to cut properly. Okay? Now, that's some pretty solid brisket, but it is the most tender meat you'll ever taste. See? So there you go. That's how that works.
Yes, yes.
And all the salt on the top is no longer salt. All that has dropped through, brought everything and rendered the fats down. So what you have left are all the seeds and the flavor. Well, it's not really seeds. Basically, it's garlic and onion and all kinds of fun stuff. If you take a look at the Montreal steak seasoning at the top, all that is flavor. There's almost no salt flavor through it. It's all. So there you go. That's how these roasts turn out. Throw them in frozen. Started at midnight. Throw them in rock solid frozen. Cellophane first. Okay, and if you see, the cellophane, like I was showing you, will stick directly to the foil and not the food. It happens that way every time. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the lid that I had taken off, put just the lid back on, and we're done. This is going to rest for about 2 hours on the stove while everything else is going in. I'm about to put in the root vegetables, which are these. The way that's going to happen is it's going to go into the same size pan. I'm going to oil them, salt and pepper them, seal them with cellophane, and then seal them with foil. And then they're going to roast for about 2.5 hours. When that's done, these are going to be peeled off and cut. The beets will be peeled off and cut. These will be cut with the skin on, and the carrots will be rubbed and the skin will come off. And then I start to layer them in a glass pan. Then there's going to be all kinds of fun stuff. Butter, wine, rosemary, thyme, you name it, all layered on top. Cellophane again. They're already cooked, okay? But cellophane again, foil again, and then put into the oven. And the end result is, it's kind of breathtaking. So you really should be here. Oh, and by the way, Roadkill Cafe. Okay? None of this is roadkill. I'm just messing with you. See you in a little bit.